The new parliament is officially going to be inaugurated today. The historic Sengol finds its place in the new parliament building. It has been placed right next to the speaker's chair in the Lok Sabha chambers by Prime Minister Modi just a short while ago. Adhinam sayers handed over the Sengol to Prime Minister Modi a day before the inauguration of the parliament. The Prime Minister took a swipe yesterday at the Congress for not giving this historical sceptre, Sengol, the due respect that it deserved. There's been much political controversy and slugfest over the inauguration of the new parliament. Be it who is inaugurating, be it the date of inauguration, be it the Sengol. Opposition parties have come together, 20 opposition parties have come together and boycotted the inauguration ceremony, the official ceremony, which is going to be underway in a short while from now. 25 parties, however, are in attendance. Let's just break down for you the events of this morning. If you're just joining us, it all started at around 7:15 this morning when Prime Minister Narendra Modi entered the new Parliament complex. He was accompanied by Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla. The two offered flowers at the Gandhi statue, followed by a prayer, after which the Sengol was purified and installed in the new parliament. That was then followed by an all-religion prayer which was conducted. The Prime Minister has now departed only to come back for a formal inauguration ceremony. So if you're just joining us, those are the events that have unfolded this morning. Adhinam heads of 19 mats accompanied the Prime Minister for the inauguration of the Parliament. All of them, remember, had met the Prime Minister at his residence yesterday, and he's learned to have spoken to them about their contribution to India's freedom movement and how that hasn't been highlighted in the past. So much politics really has been played, over this entire issue, with the government very proactively saying that, the Sengol has in fact not been given the respect that it deserves. Something that this government has in fact done. The Congress, of course, coming out and saying that, this is not something that actually symbolizes the transfer of power. So like I said, much political controversy over almost every single aspect of this momentous day. The Sengol was presented to Prime Minister Modi yesterday, but it was also presented to him at a more formal ceremony this morning. In fact, those are the pictures that you're seeing on your screens. It was purified in a ceremony, and then further the Prime Minister was seen walking into the chambers with the Sengol in his hand and installing it in the chambers right next to the Speaker's chair. So the Prime Minister led the prayers. He was accompanied by the Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla. It all began at around 7:15 this morning. After installing the sceptre, Prime Minister bowed his head to the pontiffs who were present and sought their blessings. The inauguration ceremony has two parts to it: the prayers and the Sengol ceremony, the installation of the Sengol ceremony, which is all now concluded. The Prime Minister, of course, also honoured workers who helped build the Parliament. Remember, this is something that has happened in record time. And like I've been saying, there's been a controversy over the timing of the Parliament construction as well. The opposition had raised questions of the government even during the groundbreaking ceremony of the Parliament, the Bhumi Pujan of the Parliament, because that had all happened in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. The controversies of it aside, there is a jam-packed schedule for the formal inauguration ceremony. The puja and honouring of the workers has been completed. The dignitaries have taken a tour of the Parliament. There will be movies shown on the new Parliament in the latter part of the inauguration ceremony. There will be a message of Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar that will also be read out. The Prime Minister and the Lok Sabha Speaker are also expected to speak. Nearly 60 religious heads have been called for the event, many of whom are from Tamil Nadu. Adhinams or mats of Tamil Nadu have a history, interestingly, of resisting upper caste domination and are known for taking religion to the masses, many of them hundreds of years old. The Sengol, which was first received by Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru from the British, had been kept in a museum in Allahabad until now. It has now been placed next to the chair of the Lok Sabha Speaker in the new building. The Congress, of course, has rejected the BJP's claim that the Sengol symbolized any kind of transfer of power from British to independent India. BJP leaders, including Home Minister Amit Shah, has hit back, saying that the Congress needs to reflect on its behaviour. Mr. Shah also rejected the Congress's claims that there was no evidence of the Sengol being a symbol of transfer of power. Like I said, a political slugfest has ensued with 25 parties that will be attending the ceremony, but 20 parties that have also called for the boycott of this ceremony. In the studio with us, Sanjay Singh, senior journalist. We have Mr. Makhan Lal, historian and professor. But before I go across to the guests joining me in the studio, I want to first go to my colleague Megha. She's joining us live from outside Parliament. So Megha, first half of the ceremony early this morning that began around 7:15 has concluded. The Prime Minister has departed, but only to come back in a short while from now for the more formal inauguration that will follow. Break down the developments for us.
Yeah, that's correct. So the first half of the celebrations that were planned, or rather the puja in the morning. So the traditional bit, I think, is almost over, because when the Prime Minister comes back at about noon, 12 o'clock he's expected back in the Parliament premises, and then after that, after the Prime Minister comes in, the formal event, which is where all the politicians from the political parties who are of course attending today's event, they all will be present. But apart from them, there'll be a whole lot of dignitaries, I'm told. Invites have gone on to prominent personalities, to various different sections in the society. They all will be there. 11:30 is the time. We have been told that everybody's been asked to be seated, and then 12 o'clock when the Prime Minister comes in, the function begins. Of course, the highlight will be, I think there would be a presentation again, a whole entire video maybe of the history and of the new Parliament that has come up. Apart from that, you will have one of the main things that you'll have is the messages of the President of India and the Vice President of India. That will be read out by Mr. Harivansh, is what, as per the plan which is there right now. The Prime Minister, and there are of course lighting of lamp, etc. A national anthem will also happen. Prime Minister is to take the stage by around 1 o'clock or so, 1:30. We are told, the function is going to get over. So basically, the inaugural function, or dedicating this Parliament to the country, to the people of this country, is going to happen between 12 and 1:30 today. Having said all of that, indeed, we've of course discussed the plan quite a bit at length since morning. There is of course the other aspect, which is not only of the opposition boycotting, but also of a call by several people from different groups who are saying, the Mahapanchayat, etc., that they will come and protest close to the Parliament. Will they be allowed? There's a section of people who are connected and are supporting the restless protest. There are those, of course, who are, those who have been connected in the past with the Mahapanchayats. They all want to walk towards the Parliament, come and do a sit and dharna in front of the Parliament. Well, but today this area has been turned into a fortress, a huge big fortress. Will they be allowed anywhere closer? Are we looking at some situation where there would be a friction? The day will tell as it progresses. But a hugely significant day, nevertheless. And once, the Parliament gets dedicated to the country, Rishika, today, this would, in many people's mind, mark a new beginning, perhaps, when it comes to the democratic processes in the country.